PrizePicks and the Game Time app.
And welcome into the Bruins Beat presented by PrizePicks. Go use that promo code CLNS to get $50 back when you play just $5. I'm Evan Marinofsky. That is Conor Ryan. Connor, what is up?
Evan, I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Happy Valentine's Day. It's quite the day. My birthday's the day before Valentine's Day. So for me, Valentine's Day's never been like that big of a thing for me. I know other people.
There's more important days like your birthday.
Correct. Yeah, that takes precedent.
You're scrolling through Instagram. Everyone's got like these nice photos of their significant other. Like, where's my fucking birthday wishes?
Where's my birthday post?
What's going on? Yeah, exactly.
So Valentine's Day, hope you all are doing something for it or not, because, you know, it's not a requirement to do stuff, but it is there to do stuff anyway. It's on a Friday this year, so restaurants are probably just packed.
Godspeed to the service industry today.
Godspeed. You know, we're not a relationship podcast. We could be, I guess, if we really want.
We got to find something to talk about this year. I
think we might have to dive into some relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. My girlfriend and I were talking about this. My girlfriend is going home to Long Island for the weekend, so no Valentine's Day plans for me. So actually, I'm here with you, Connor. This is my Valentine's Day. I don't have a drink. I have my water bottle. I'm sick. Aren't I your just ideal date? This is perfect.
Beautiful, Evan. This is great. There's no one I'd rather be podcasting about the Bruins with than you.
Romantic. It's very romantic. Oh my God! And you know what? I brought food. Cough drops.
Oh wow! I got airborne. So
ooh,
we're good.
I got magnesium. I got Advil. Nice. I've even got some mouthwash, which
nice.
Just haven't used, I guess. I always find it fascinating. I was talking to my girlfriend about this. People who are single who feel the need to have a Valentine's Day date, and they will go out on like a first date on Valentine's Day, or they will like scramble to find a date for Valentine's Day. And I don't understand that, because to me, I feel like Valentine's Day is for couples. And I'm not saying that, that it's great to be a couple or anything. Like, if you're single, good for you, man. Like, keep doing you. But I don't think there's any pressure to do something on Valentine's Day.
No, absolutely not. Like, just chill, watch TV, have a beer.
I agree. Like,
catch up on a show, watch Severance, watch whatever the kids are watching these days, or
relax, order some takeout, like chill on the couch. That is, to me, that's the most ideal Valentine's.
That's the dream.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, feet up, blanket.
Yeah.
I will say, I'll tell a little funny story. I'm not going to name any names because God knows, but I heard a story recently about this girl who is single. And I know this is what happens with no Bruins. We just, nothing to talk about. We'll get to the U.S. and Canada for a bit. But single, she lives in New York City, and she's talking to this guy through Hinge, and he lives in Connecticut. And they got reservations for Valentine's Day night. He had to come stay with her. So he came in on Thursday, stayed over Friday. Now, like, we're recording this Friday late afternoon. They're going to dinner tonight, and then he doesn't leave till Saturday morning. That's they've FaceTimed a couple times, but they've never gone on a date before, and yet they spent 48 hours together. I am fascinated by how people will go to any length to have a Valentine's Day date. I don't understand that.
Hey man, like, if there's ever a place to do it, New York City is the most romantic city in the world, as they say. So you go to Times Square, go to a Broadway show, go to the M&M factory, get your face printed on some like red M&Ms. Like, what's better than that? Together, of course. Go get a mug or two over at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Genius.
What else do you need? It's a beautiful city.
I find it incredible. Like, you've never hung out with this person before. You've never gone on a date with them. You've never done anything with them. And you're going to have them sleep over twice, 2 straight nights, and you're spend 2 full days together. I find that to be a lot. Let's dive into some hockey, because I don't think relationship stuff is our forte. U.S. crushes Finland on Thursday night. There's not much with like Bruin centric stuff, so we're not gonna hash out like who needs to be traded and this and that. But U.S. took down Finland pretty good the other night, 6-1. Close game going into the third. I thought, maybe we'll have a ball game here. Not at all. U.S. pulls away. It was the night of the Kachucks. The Tkachuk brothers each had 2 goals. McAvoy playing with Werenski, I find that to be kind of cool. That's a cool pairing. Werenski's one of the top defenders in hockey this year. Werenski's puck moving complements McAvoy pretty well. Anything big you noticed in that U.S. game?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, why I think people are looking at Team USA as maybe the team to beat. They've got depth, obviously, all across, between the forwards, the D, and I think they've got the best 3 goalies, but in terms of just their overall goalie core in the tournament. So depth alone, they've got a lot of reasons to really buy into what they have. A lot of skill up front and on the D core, a lot of finishing ability, as you saw with, between the Tkachuks, between, Gensel, even like Austin Matthews now kind of being put in like the 2-way role, like as like the second line center, which is pretty damn good second line center.
So fun.
That top line with Eichel in between the 2 Tkachuks is sickening. Like that, good fucking luck. But I think what stands out to me looking at that USA team is just the fact that I think there's a lot of balance, and I think there's a lot of what you need in that tournament, which is not to feel like the caveman approach from the playoffs, but they've got a lot of guys that are physical, can get into inside ice, and are kind of a pain in the ass to play against. And I think when you look at how much skill is present across this tournament amongst the other 3 teams, I think having a group that has the Tkachuks being shit stirrers, guys like, McAvoy can lay a hit. JT Miller was laying some hits. Trocheck's kind of a pain in the ass. They have a pretty good balance between the skill that, you're going to need to either outscore a lot of these teams or to claw back from deficits. But they've got a lot of guys that I think can drive other teams crazy in terms of how physical, how punishing they are. And I think you've seen that. I was recording a podcast with Ty earlier today, and I saw a tweet that was like, I appreciate JT Miller for the fact that he laces up his skates and then just gets fucking pissed at everyone. I'm like,
it's funny.
That's true.
It is good.
But I do like kind of the fact that Team USA can kind of change their game, and they kind of can do a little bit of everything. They can stay with most teams in terms of the skating, the skill, all that stuff. They don't have the same ceiling as Canada in that regard, but they also can really be a punishing team as well. And I think you saw that in the game against Finland.
I'm very curious. Like, it's funny you mentioned like a guy like Trocheck or JT Miller, New York Rangers. You have guys like McAvoy and these kind of guys who are on that fringe of the playoffs for the NHL. And I do wonder if they use this tournament as sort of a springboard into playing playoff hockey the rest of the way, because through 2 games, I mean, both those games felt like playoff games. Both games were played like playoff games. I think that's been the best thing of these, the 2 games we've seen so far is no one's taking this lightly. No one's looking at this as an all-star game. No one's letting up on hits. You're seeing scrums. Like, it's great hockey. And I think I always find it awesome in these tournaments, best on best, when guys have to move down a lineup and play in a role that maybe they're not used to, but they do really well at. You mentioned Matthews as like a 2-way guy. Jack Hughes is on the wing, and he's got to be a skill guy. And I think it's fascinating. And in terms of the US, you're right. Like, all 3 of those goalies could be starters on any of the other teams. Binnington's the starter for Canada, Saros for Finland, and then they had Gustafsson in for Sweden the other night. We thought it might be Olmark. But, it's just been phenomenal through 2 games. And it stinks as we record this. There's no game Friday night, right? They're both Saturday. So it's like, it's such a shame, because I'm just like, the last 2 days I've been sick. So at 8 p.m., I'm like, I know I can get in bed and I can watch the games. And it's like, that's perfect. It'll be a perfect Friday night, but they want to have a doubleheader on Saturday. But so far, I'm excited for the next time they do this in 2028. Like, this has been a blast.
It's been awesome. And I think you look at, and I know we touched on this during our last recording, but you look at just how desperate some of these leagues are, not just hockey, but the NBA and stuff, for kind of that break and a breath of fresh air, something that's different. And like the NBA has like the in-season tournament, which, is different. And I give them props for trying something out, new location, Vegas, but that's also like a new thing that like the players are bought into. They're like, yeah, we'll do it. Like, it's cool. And like, they have an incentive because like guys at the bottom of the bench get like $500K if they win, which is a lot of money for some of those guys. Yeah. So like, there is incentive, right? But it's you look at the NHL in this tournament and bringing back international best on best. Like, you don't really have to sell it on the players. Like, they've been clamoring for a long, long time about bringing back international competition, having these guys battle against one another. That, like, the product itself, you don't have to sell people on it, right? Like, and I think even if you were skeptical as a fan looking at the Four Nations, like, what the hell is this thing? One, it's not the whole best on best. If you got teams missing, what have you, like, am I even going to really watch this? Then you watch that Canada-Sweden game, you're like, I'm all in.
Hooked.
And so I think like the NHL's got a great thing on their hands here, where you've got this, and then instead of going back to the All-Star game where you can see Nikita Kucherov sleepwalk through puck handling drills.
I saw you quote tweet that out again. I was like, I forgot about that.
So instead of doing shit like that, it's like, all right, you got this year, which is going to be great. It's already great.
Great. We love the Four Nations.
It's going to be that. It's going to be in 26 the Olympics, which is going to be unbelievable. Like, I already can't wait for that. Especially just looking at that USA team, like, they got a pretty damn good chance. That's going to be an unbelievable tournament. And then, like I said, 28 with the World Cup of hockey, and that being every 2 years, something to look forward to, whether it's the Olympics or the World Cup, where you're going to have more teams involved. So World Cup, you're going to have the Pasternaks and those guys. You're going to have Draisaitl and the Germans probably involved.
I saw someone put like it'd be European team. Yeah. It wouldn't be like Czechia. It would be like Europe's, because then you could have Draisaitl with Germany, and you have like I like that.
So there's stuff like that. And also, like, they've mentioned, like, they're looking at host cities for that. And it's also North American and Europe. So, like, if it's a World Cup and you've got like this break and you got teams playing in Sweden or in Prague or, somewhere else in North America, maybe it's somewhere here, but it's not a regular hockey, it's like something like that is different. And it's not like, the NBA going to Vegas off of this tournament we've kind of just cobbled up because we want to follow kind of how they do it with, like soccer and stuff like that over in Europe. Like, this is something that the players already bought into. You can have them fucking play best on best Canada, US, and Manchester, Vegas, and they'll be bought in and ready to go. So they're ready. And I think hockey fans benefit from it. So it's awesome. Like, I look at, when the Bruins aren't playing or they're out of the playoffs, like, games that as just someone who loves hockey, you get excited for. Like, I was excited to watch Game 7 of Oilers Panthers last year. Didn't watch a single fucking minute of it because the Bruins treated Ullmark like an hour.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So I couldn't enjoy that, but I was excited going into that. So I am thrilled to watch that game on Saturday night, USA Canada. I am going. That is like went from a game where it's like, I'll follow along. It's going to be really fun. I am like gonna be on the couch, order some pizza,
lock in,
and lock in. Like, that game is, if you're a fan of hockey, and I even like. You're seeing, like, it's not, I know it's just maybe a bubble, but like the sports radio is talking about it. The people are watching that. Like, I think even casual fans are buying in. And so if you get like good numbers off of that, like USA Canada, and you build this up, and let's say, again, it's not set in stone, but it's USA Canada in Boston on a Thursday night in the middle of kind of this lull in the sports calendar where NFL's done. NBA has their All-Star this weekend. So everyone's kind of in that weird kind of lull right now on the calendar, and those numbers crush for a USA Canada rematch on Thursday. That's great. That's how you grow the game. You get your already really dedicated fan base pumped up. You have the promise of this more in the future, and even casual fans are going to buy into USA Canada when you look at just the history, the talent, the animosity already there. It's been a really good week for hockey, and it makes you feel really good about where it goes from here, because USA, they're not going away anyway. They're not going away anytime soon. They've got a lot of young players coming up. Same with Canada. I look at, like, I can just imagine, probably not 26, but like 2030, Ryan Leonard's going to be such a piece of shit. All these teams.
It's true.
All these teams,
you killed that.
Yes. All these teams have so much young talent coming through that, like, I'm excited to see what it is in, 6 years from down the road, when it's guys like Bedard and Celebrini and Leonard and the Hudsons and, like James Hagens. There's a lot to be excited for about just the talent coming in, and the fact that I think we're able to see them. It's not like we had to wait until 27-year-old Connor McDavid to see him on the international stage. I think the NHL's seeing where you can benefit from these things. And it's great for, I think, everyone involved. It's great for hockey, great for fans. It's It's an exciting time, I would say.
And you build it globally. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
You're getting this to a global audience. You mentioned the NBA in-season tournament. My gripe with that is it's not all in one fell swoop. It's over the course of like weeks, and that goes in and out with regular season games. I said this to you when I mentioned like the NHL could do an in-season tournament, like a beanpot type thing with 4 teams in each region. Like, just do 1 week of it. Make it like that week, where you can look forward to that stuff, or, have different teams do theirs at different weeks. Like, I don't like the idea of hopping around, and it's fun that it's just 2 weeks of this. That's it. It's just 2 weeks of this. And it's been a phenomenal product so far. I want to get into US Canada because that's a big ass matchup. But first, our friends over at PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long over at PrizePicks. You're going to want to hit the ice this season with PrizePicks because PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks, they put their members first. So all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Plus, PrizePicks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Let's see what they have for the game US Canada. I want to find. I'm pulling it up real quick because I don't have it in front of me. 4 nations. So they've got, for that US-Canada game at night, they've got Cale Makar, Matthew Tkachuk, Jake Guentzel, and Sam Reinhart. And it's set at 0.5 points for all of them. Makar was out with an illness. Maybe Makar, you take less. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a flu game.
Flu game. Matthew Tkachuk had a huge game against Finland, so you'd almost want to bet on a regression. But it's Matthew Tkachuk. So maybe I take more than 0.5 points there. Sam Reinhart going against his teammate Matthew Tkachuk. I kind of want to take more as well.
Dude, there's like 400 Florida Panthers in this tournament. It's insane. Half the Finnish team is Florida Panthers.
And then Jake Guentzel. Jake Gensel's the other one. So he had a good game against Finland. So it wouldn't shock me if he was more too. So you have some legitimate decisions there to make. If you want to go do that and make the games fun, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Run your game. So a lot of interesting storylines in US Canada, a lot of teammates going at it. McAvoy and Marchand, are they going to have any big hits? 2 heavy guys who can throw their bodies around. I'd be curious to see them go at it. You have Tkachuk and versus Bennett and Reinhart, which will be really good. But one thing I've been looking at, and the Bruins posted a clip with Marchand and Sam Bennett because they're on the same line, and they're sort of talking about each other. And Marchand's very nonchalant and kind of like having some chuckles about it. And Reinhart doesn't really show any personality there. Normally, yes, it is all in the game. It's gamesmanship. You're all trying to hurt each other. But I don't know, man. Like, Sam Bennett, A, gets away with a lot. But B, what he did to Marchand last year, which was not like finishing a hit or, after the whistle stuff. It was a low-key sucker punch to the jaw that he was concussed, right?
Yeah.
Memory serves?
I don't think it was officially confirmed, but in protocol for a week. Punch right in the face, yes. This
is a 35-year-old guy who, whether you like him or hate him, deserves respect in the NHL. It's sort of like when Patrice Bergeron was bitten. It's like, all right, well, this is ridiculous. And, again, to sucker punch a guy as he's dumping a puck in, along the boards, to just sucker punch him and knock him out. Yes, you're trying to hurt everybody, but that seems a bit far. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, it's part of the game. I don't know how you get back on that guy's line and kind of have fun with him. Now, I get it. You're competing for, a championship. You're on, you're put on. It's not Marchand's choice to be on his line, and you've got to handle it the way you got to handle it. Marchand's a professional, but I don't know. Can we not can we not pretend that Sam Bennett's just like, oh, he's Sam Bennett. Classic Sam. Like, I think the guy's a dirtbag.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, especially for Marchand, who I think would play with anyone if it means, validating his spot on Team Canada and winning a championship, I think he's fine with that. I mean, you can look at
correct.
Brad Marchand. Yeah, Brad Marchand, had a straight up dirty hit on Marcus Johansson before he got to Boston, and they were buddies for that run. So I think it comes with the territory. Marchand, again, I think has really cleaned up his game, but has a pretty long rap sheet of doing stuff like that. So I'm sure, even if they actually had international best on best from beyond 16 to 2024, there'll probably be plenty of other guys either on Team Canada that are oh shit, skating with Marchand now. And again,
I know
he's a great player, but I'm sure it's probably more of that kind of relationship or part of it where even if you probably don't like the guy that much, you're not going to let that kind of throw off your game. The one I'm excited for, let me tell you, Evan, is next time USA plays Sweden, because JT Miller might punch Elias Pettersson in the face.
I was going to say that is
the one that I'm actually looking forward to. So, because I don't know, JT Miller again is already pissed. Like, that dude already is on the ice, completely pissed off, and he's going to see Elias Pettersson. He might lose his mind. So,
blow his top. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm very curious. This US Canada game, is it going to be high scoring? Is it going to be low scoring? Canada's goaltending is suspect. Canada's D, they're down now Shea Theodore. Yeah, Connor Hellebuck gave up a really leaky first goal against Finland. It was the only goal he gave up. So then you wonder, what's he going to look like against Canada? He's not exactly been Mr. Cool on the big stages. So I just wonder if this is going to be a high-scoring game, if this is a game that's a 6-5 game or 5-4. I just want it to be good. Obviously, I want the U.S. to win because it's my country. But most importantly, I just want a good game because this is going to be a hyped up game. This is game 7s of the Stanley Cup get this kind of hype where it's everything. And in 2010, when US played Canada, it was worth it. That was a freaking incredible game. So you just hope this is not a 4-1 win for one side or, it'd be hilarious if the US trounced Canada. Would be hysterical, but give me a good game. Give me edge of my seat at 10:30 on Saturday night in the final 5 minutes. That's what I want.
Yeah, and I think you look at the way these teams play, even with the amount of firepower that Canada has, this game could be a really tight checking game because, again, we look at the goaltending situation that Canada has. It's not like these are also guys that are scrubs. These are guys that honestly love them or hate them, and then Bruins fans hate them. Jordan Binnington does have that clutch gene, even look at what Aiden Hill has. They have guys that
he does
that do deliver in those situations. So it could be a tight game, but also both those teams have the ability to go down the ice and score at will. If the Kachucks and Eichel are clicking, it even wasn't a huge game from Austin Matthews, but that guy can be a cheat code when he has the puck on his stick. You look at Jack Hughes, guys all the way further down their lineup, and then obviously you look at Canada as well. One thing USA can't do, can't take a lot of bad penalties.
I was just going to say this.
because they love being shit stirrers, but that power play for Canada is terrifying. But if there's a team that can claw back, though, in those kinds of games, it feels like USA has the ability just to go down the ice, possess the puck, hopefully limit some of the rush ability that Canada has. Task easier said than done, though. I mean, the amount of talent on that Canadian team is absurd. I'm just excited to watch it every single shift. It's going to be fascinating. There's so many different storylines. It's just the ability to see McDavid out there, to still see Sidney Crosby at his age, how brilliant he is still at this level. You got, if it's Hellebuck, can he, shake that reputation of what he has in terms of not delivering in clutch situations? The Bruins following them, like McAvoy against Marchand. You can run down the list. We can talk for an hour and a half about just the amount of storylines here. And it's all going to lead to, I think, what should be a riveting game. And even if it's, one team wins by 2 goals or what have you, it's something where you hope they meet again on next Thursday, because I can't imagine how rocking the garden's going to be if it is USA Canada in a game like that.
I agree. Please let them be against each other. Please, please, please. I think
Finland versus Sweden.
It'll be great. That'll be great.
No disrespect to the Scandinavians, but
I have a weird feeling it's not. At least Finland. I don't think Finland.
You think Sweden's going to be the upset? They're probably going to win two of these next games on.
I don't know. Finland. I don't see doing much. Like I don't see Finland really doing any damage, but I could see Sweden pulling something.
Sweden's
off.
a good team. They are a very good team.
They're like. I mean, they almost beat Canada the other night, and that would have set the tone for the whole freaking tournament. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's like the Crosby element is so cool to me. Like at his age, still doing what he's able to do and having the impact he has and playing with this next generation of guys, the current generation, McKinnon, McDavid. I think it's amazing. And that's the cool part. I think as a hockey fan, you can't help but enjoy this because you're watching all these guys come together, the highest of high-end guys coming together from different age brackets. And it's just been great so far. So Saturday will be big. It'll be a big night. US, Canada. I'll be on my couch. I'll order takeout too. I don't know what I'll order, but I'll get something good going. Connor, what can the people look forward to from you over at the Globe and Boston.com?
Yeah, you can read all of my stuff over at theglobeandboston.com. We have covered every step of the way, whether it's the Four Nations face-off, which we will be on site at the Garden for that next week, or the Bruins, which I forgot about them, but they are still hanging on for dear life.
You're doing
trying to
stuff.
make it to the playoffs. It's going to be a very busy next couple months for them, whether or not they make the playoffs or not. So you can read all of our stuff over there at theglobeandboston.com. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, you can at Conor Ryan _93.
Go do all that. That's Conor Ryan. I'm Evan Marinofsky. You Bruins Beat listeners. Have a great rest of your week.